Germans are supposed to be so rude. Is that so? Japan, the land of smiles where people never say no. Or the USA, where the customer is always right. What is it like in Germany? Let's take a look. We start with a form of address. In Germany, there's a formal salutation and an informal one. A question like, how are you? Wie geht es dir? Is asked differently. As in many languages, there are personal pronouns for the different persons in the singular and plural. When addressing someone you know well from your own family or your own sports club, you use the informal form of address, the second person singular. Wie geht es dir? When speaking to strangers or people in authority, teachers or the police, sometimes also within a company or correspondingly with customers or suppliers, German use the formal form of address, the third person plural. Wie geht es Ihnen? It doesn't matter whether you are addressing a customer or a group of strangers. By the way, there used to be a formal form of address in English. Well, it was a while ago, and at that time the second person plural was used in English. The informal thou no longer exists, but the formal ye has now become the universal you. If you mark the following phrase as a tourist, entschuldigen Sie bitte, means excuse me please, you're not doing anything wrong when asking a German for help. If you're not sure whether to use the formal or informal form of address, go for the formal one. Anyone who offers you the du will say it directly, and if the person likes to keep some distance, they will feel appreciated if you have addressed them formally. Personally, I find it impolite when strangers simply address me as du. Germans are therefore very polite when addressing people. Another point that I find very polite is when Germans try to pronounce a person's name the way it is pronounced in their home country. So we pronounce Michael in German, Michael in English, Michel in French. Whether we call Joe Biden, Mikhail Gorbachev or Emmanuel Macron, we try to pronounce the names the way they are pronounced at home. When I watched the news from the US, I often heard Angela Merkel being called Angela Merkel, but I don't think they have the pretension to pronounce the names correctly. Whereas I find it very nice of some people, such as former colleagues from Sri Lanka, who have acquired a nickname because their first names were very complicated and very unusual for us. A third point that is considered extremely rude in Germany is wasting time. That's why Germans are inherently punctual. If you're supposed to be there at dinner at 7 p.m., you can expect the first guests at 5 to 7 and the last at 7 sharp. If the German guest is late, the German will let you know directly if he'll be more than 5 minutes late. Of course, this can happen because you are stuck in a traffic jam, your child has another problem, or the long-distance train is late again. But so that the others don't have to wait unnecessarily, you let them know immediately. On the other hand, the hosts would also worry if a guest didn't show up on time and didn't call, not that something had happened to him. But Germans also don't like it when time is wasted in communication. If someone wants to know if the new jacket looks good, you say so. Even if it doesn't look good, why beat around the bush when you are asked for your opinion? Even if you get on well and part with the decision that you should meet again sometime, Germans will certainly look at when that should be, in a fortnight or in 2 months. We like to plan. If on the other hand the other person doesn't want to meet again at all, they will probably answer be rather not, wahrscheinlich nicht, Or if one is not sure, then we'll see, wir werden sehen. Even if you are in a shop and ask a salesperson if a certain product is there, the answer may well be no. The salesperson doesn't beat around the bush. If you want a substitute product, you ask the salesperson and he or she will certainly explain in detail what alternatives are available. If you have a problem as a customer with a product, there are certainly companies that try to escape their responsibilities. In general, however, the shops are aware of the rules and so are the customers, so there are usually no major discrepancies. After all, everything is precisely regulated. Even if you are invited for coffee or a barbecue, you answer with yes or no. You don't have to decline several times in order to accept in the end. But if you do accept, you should be punctual. And last but not least, there are a few behaviors that we consider polite. On buses or trains, old people, pregnant women, or people with disabilities are offered a seat if no one else is free. Likewise, if someone in the group also wants to go through a door, you also hold the door open for that person. When we talk on phone or listen to music, we do it as quietly as possible, not just when it's lunchtime or nighttime. The idea is that if everyone follows the rules, it's more pleasant and easier for everyone. That's why we also like to help others know and follow the rules. Well, that's not necessarily considered polite, but seriously, would it be better to say nothing and possibly notify the authorities? Most of the time, we try to solve the problems ourselves by speaking up. We look out for each other, so it's not unusual to look around while walking or taking a break, on the bench or in the train. If your eyes cross, we smile and nod in a friendly manner. If we notice that someone has dropped something, we point it out to them. If we find something that has been lost, it is put on the bench or the fence in case someone comes back and finds it's missing. If it's obviously valuable, like a wallet, a watch, or a set of keys, we often take them with us. It is posted on social media like Facebook, if necessary, and then taken to the lost property office or the next police station the day. Also, if someone falls down, a child falls, or there's an accident, we check if someone needs help. Apart from being nice, it's also an illegal requirement to help as much as you can. If you are a real gentleman, then of course you go into the restaurant in front of the lady, or down the stairs in front of the lady and up the stairs after the lady to catch her in any emergency. But these are in part somewhat outdated behaviors, nevertheless quite gentlemanly. All in all, you can't say that people in a country are all polite or all rude. Whereas in one country there is always a friendly smile or small talk, in others it is strange. And while some people shake hands, others give kisses as a greeting, while others avoid touching each other. What is a friendly gesture from your country? Write it in the comments. Thank you very much for your attention and see you next time.